Hello, I'm Jaden from XLR Security, and today I'm going to be testing and reviewing this 4-megapixel Varifocal Dome camera from Uniview. The model number is IPC3534SR3. This is a standard camera, meaning that it doesn't have any flashing lights, warning sounds, or other advanced features. However, what this camera does have is a lens that's fully motorized. The motorized lens allows you to zoom in and out for a better view, which I'll show you later in the video. Also, this camera has an IP67 weather rating and IK10 vandal resistance. This means that you can install it indoors or outdoors, which is what I'm going to do right now. One of the things I noticed with this camera is that you have to be extra careful when you're installing it. When I first aimed the camera, I thought it had a great shot, but after zooming it in, all I could see was the garbage bin. So when you are aiming this camera, you need to account for the fact that the view may be zoomed in later. After aiming the camera slightly more upwards, I was able to get a nice shot of vehicles entering and exiting the plaza. I can also zoom out the camera to capture a slightly wider angle. I found that this camera performed best between 50% and 100% zoom. Within this range, the image is sharp and clear. When we zoomed out further, I noticed that the camera was starting to lose detail, which is especially noticeable in this text on the garbage bin. This is how the camera looks like when it's fully zoomed out. And this is how the camera looks like while it's fully zoomed in. It has a 2.8 to 12mm varifocal lens, which gives us about 4.5 times zoom. So, I've talked about zooming the lens in and out, but I haven't actually explained how to do it. If you're familiar with Uniview, you may already know how to adjust the zoom, but I'll quickly explain it for those who don't know. There are a couple of ways to control the zoom level of this camera. If you're viewing the camera using the web interface, you can open the PTZ control panel on the bottom right. And then you can use the plus and minus buttons at the top right to adjust the zoom and focus. The camera automatically focuses whenever you adjust the zoom, so most of the time you can actually ignore the focus control. If you're viewing the camera using EZStation, you can hover your mouse over the camera view to open the PTZ control menu at the bottom left, and then use the magnifying glass icon to zoom in, as well as to zoom out. And if you're viewing the camera on your smartphone, make sure you have the UNV Link app downloaded for best results. You'll see a PTZ control menu at the bottom half of the screen when viewing the camera in vertical mode. Use the plus and minus icons on the left side to adjust the camera's zoom. And if you're viewing the camera in landscape mode, you can open the PTZ control using the icon at the bottom. Then, use the icons on the right side to adjust the zoom and focus. Now that I've covered the zoom function, I also want to talk about the intelligent features available on this camera. This camera has 3 intelligent features: intrusion detection, crossline detection, and ultra motion detection. You can set these up through the NVR or by logging into the camera directly. From the NVR, we can go up to the Smart menu on the web interface, and then we're going to select our camera, which is Varifocal Dome, and we can trigger either crossline or intrusion detection. The crossline and intrusion detection are set to trigger on humans only, which worked quite well based on our testing. If you want to set up ultra motion detection, that can be found under the alarm and motion menu, and you have to enable detection mode as ultra motion detection. Ultra motion detection is set up to trigger on both humans and motor vehicles, but you can adjust the object type from the detection menu, and this allows you to focus on vehicles or people only. And you can also set it up to send push notifications to your phone. Pretty useful. Since this camera can zoom in quite far, it should be good for capturing license plates, right? That's what I thought too, so I tested it for quite a few days to see how it performed. During the daytime, license plate capture was very good. We were able to see basically every vehicle that came into our plaza, including those with tinted license plates. At nighttime, it was a different story. We had a lot of trouble capturing plates, even after adjusting the shutter speed for low motion blur and enabling wide dynamic range in the camera settings. We had a few successful plate captures at night, but it was mostly when the vehicles were moving slowly. My theory is that this camera doesn't have enough low light sensitivity to accurately record the license plates when the vehicles are in motion. After all, this is one of the more affordable varifocal cameras by Uniview, so they probably had to make a compromise somewhere, and it seems like the low light performance took a hit. If you're looking for a camera that is able to capture license plates, I highly recommend the IPC3534SR3 This is a varifocal light hunter bullet camera with a sensor that's optimized for low light performance. With the right adjustments, you can set it up for optimal license plate capture even at nighttime. Overall, this 4-megapixel varifocal dome camera from Uniview is a solid choice if you need to get a closer view than your regular fixed lens camera. This type of camera works well for viewing cash registers in your retail store or for viewing a doorway or a plaza entrance, as we've shown in our example. So that concludes our testing and review of the 4-megapixel varifocal dome camera from Uniview. Feel free to like this video if you found it helpful and subscribe for more camera reviews in the future. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.